Do you believe that everything is always working out in your favor? If not, stay tuned. Hey everyone, my name is Kim Velez. I am a former trauma therapist, now turned transformational coach, where I've had the privilege and continue to do so of helping so many of you heal yourselves, transform, like level up your self concept and start manifesting the wildest dreams in your life. And it's fucking thrilling to watch. So let's talk about this. And before we do, I wanted to remind you that I have my Money Glow Up Masterclass. So for those of you that want to manifest more money, I have a 2-day live event where we're chopping it up. We're talking about this plus a little workbook that goes with it. These things are powerful. People get shifts when they work with me because I am a transformational coach. So I just don't do information. I do transformation, baby. So link is below. We go Thursday and Friday of this week live. You can get access to the replays if you can't attend. Okay, so let's talk about this. Everything is always working out in your favor if that's what you choose to believe. But so many of you don't end up believing this because you're looking at the current moment or previous moment and deciding that because this is how it is right now, or because this is how it's always been, it can't be this way. It can't work out in my favor. Well, yes, the fuck it can. It totally can. And I've manifested this so many times in my life. And this is something pre-law of assumption, post-law of assumption that I really believe in, that I anchor in as much as possible, because this is such a dope ass belief to have, is that everything always does work out in my favor. And imagine if you cultivated that belief in you. Imagine how unstoppable, and unbothered you would be of whatever your current circumstances are or have been, because you're choosing a self-concept that says everything always works out in the end for me. And a lot of people don't understand this. They say, oh my God, I want this manifestation. And then they're in the middle of it because it hasn't materialized yet. In the middle of it, they're looking at however it's unfolding and deeming and deciding, because it's just happened this way, or because this was said to me, or because I just experienced this, oh my God, I'm not getting what I want. Well, then that's how you manifest you not getting what you want. Instead of saying, I don't know how this is going to turn around in my favor, but somehow, some way it is. I did this when I wanted to get out of my Audi lease. I did this when I was leaving an old office and it was problematic. Every week for like 6 to 8 weeks, they kept like emailing me with some nonsense. And I said, you know what? I don't know what their problem is. They're going to get it together somehow, some way. I'm going to come out of this on top, and they're going to owe me the money they were saying I owed, because I knew I didn't owe money. And that's exactly what happened. And same thing with my Audi lease. I wanted out of it. I didn't want to stay for the duration, but I wanted out of it without penalizing or me having to pay any money. And that's exactly what I manifested. So we have to understand that just because something is or something has been does not mean it has to continue on that way. But again, so many of you look at your circumstances and you're saying, oh my God, because of this, I'm not this, or I'm not getting this. And that's a lie unless you believe it's your truth. A lot of you are more invested in believing the old you and believing the old reality more than you're willing to believe in the new you and the new reality of your choosing. And this is why, one of the reasons why you're going to struggle is because you keep giving up your power to the 3D. You're not, no matter how fucking and believe me, I've manifested things in my life that trigger the shit out of me, right? But our job is, even when we're triggered, we still can alchemize. We still can manifest the shit to turn around in our favor, because your feelings aren't what manifest. Your feelings are just letting you know what your belief is. So if something's manifesting in my life right now, there's a circumstance that is triggering the hell out of me, and I feel scared or insecure or worried I'm not going to get a favorable outcome, I just keep going within and I keep leaning into, no, babe, everything always works out for me. And I move into that version of me because she's powerful. She is calm. She is filled with peace. She's not worried. She's not worrying about the 3D. And if the 3D is bothering her, she keeps removing herself, if that even made sense. But you get what I'm saying. I keep readjusting myself to be more of the version of me that, if I were already in the solution of this, if I already had the information that said this worked out in my favor, then what who would I be? What would I feel? And what would I be thinking and focusing on instead? And I practice that state more than I'm allowing me to be in the fucking anxious, insecure, fear based state. Our feelings are just like an indicator letting you know where your focus is and what you're believing. So, your job, again, if you choose it, is to shift it. You can shift it all the time. And that's what Neville talked about of investing your thoughts or spending them. And you're spending them when you're fucking worrying. You're spending them when you're focusing on the worst case scenarios. Like your brain is focused anyway. So pick a fucking story that is more favorable and train yourself to focus that way instead. And it just takes practice and time. But a lot of you in the middle are choosing and deciding that because whatever's showing up right now, this is a fucking sign or this is a clear indicator that I'm not going to get what I want. And that's not true, babe. That is not true. Neville was even clear. I swear, if you guys haven't read his complete reader, go read his complete reader so you can start understanding his own teachings, because he's talked about many times in his teachings that even when the circumstances are not favorable or what you prefer, you still manifest the outcome you want if that's what you choose to do. And so many of you don't allow yourselves to have that experience because you stop dead in your tracks because the middle is showing you something different. The middle, which is not the end result, is looking like it's swaying not in your favor. And then you're rolling with that. You're like, yep, because they said so. Look, this just was texted. Or look, I looked at my bank account today. Or look, I didn't get the job when I wanted it. So what? So what? It's still, that does not mean you're not going to get what you want. But a lot of you get defeated. You allow yourself to get defeated because you didn't get it in the time frame, or you're looking at the circumstances and saying, well, these aren't unfolding the way that I want, so it means it's not happening. Well, who says? Stop assuming that. Start assuming that, oh yeah, this is totally working in my favor. I've done this for years. I've been talking about this for years on YouTube, that even when I can't even logically see how this is going to unfold in my favor, I hold that fucking belief. I lean in that belief. I affirm that story like there's no fucking tomorrow. And I say, somehow, some way, this is going to work out in my favor. I have no idea how this is going to turn the tide in my favor, but somehow, some way it is. And it does. This thing keeps freezing. I'm so over StreamYard, I'm not using them anymore. Because this is the thing. A lot of you struggle with, well, I want this outcome, but these circumstances are happening. Well, you don't know if they're just still playing out from the old shitty story and beliefs that you've had forever, right? And then you don't know if there's still just something activated in you that is not what you desire. So it's manifesting your reality yet again. But your job, if you want to be a master manifester, is that even when circumstances are unfolding in a way that is not what you desire, you still focus on an outcome. You still focus on the version of you and the wish fulfilled, because it'll play itself out. The tide will turn. We just don't know how long things take to manifest. And our job is not to figure that out. Our job is to be persistent in the assumptions that we're saying we want to experience. And a lot of you give up on that because you don't believe in your power. You don't believe you're worthy to receive what it is you want. And you're still taking your cue from the current reality. And that's one of the biggest mistakes to make. And this is one of the biggest things to overcome and to practice. And this is how you really become a conscious manifester, is even when it's unfolding and it doesn't look like it's going to work in my favor, it still will somehow, some way. It's not our job to figure out how. Our job is just to trust and let it unfold. A lot of you will go into panic mode and then you'll try to fucking force or manipulate an outcome, which is not how you get what you want, because the version of you doing that is not a version who knows what she wants is hers. It's someone who, oh my God, I'm not going to get what I want, so I got to go do something to make it happen. So that state of being, that version of you, is creating more drama and chaos in her reality, instead of being the version who knows her power, trusts in the unseen, knows her worth and value, and knows that everything's always working out for her. She keeps grounding and anchoring in that version of herself, no matter what the fuck is showing up. And she allows it to conform. She allows the manifestation to bring her the outcome that she's chosen for herself, and doesn't interfere in the meantime. All right. So I hope you found this video helpful. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. And I hope to see you in my Money Glow Up Masterclass. Bye.